Thank you. Hello and welcome to the Insurance Apprentice Season 8. I'm your host, Simon Coleman from SHA. We have 10 remaining contestants this week, and by the end of this episode, only 8 will be left. The determining factor between those who go and those who stay will of course be the contestants' performance in this week's challenges. This episode is brought to you by Sasria, a short-term insurer that provides special risks cover from civil commotion, strike, riots and terrorism to South African individuals and business assets. The value of such cover cannot be overstated, especially following recent events. The challenges prescribed in this episode have been presented by Sasria and will not only assess their insurance knowledge, but will also test how innovative our contestants are. Let's welcome our top 10. Welcome back, contestants.
Thanks, Simon.
Okay, some good energy there. I can see you've taken the last week to rest and gather your thoughts. All looking fresh, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as they say. Neo, how did you feel after last week's performance?
I actually wanted to crawl into a hole and never come out.
Well,
it was very tough, very challenging.
Yeah, that was a tough task, but luckily you're still here. Katuchelo.
Yeah.
Yes, Simon.
How are you feeling today?
I'm a bit confident today compared to last week.
You were lucky you were in the winning team, otherwise things could have been quite difficult. But good luck for today. Priya.
Thank you.
Yes, Simon.
I know you struggled. I know you just managed to get through rapid risk, and then of course we put you on the spot with the vote.
It's been a tough week, grueling, like Neo said. I feel like falling up as well and hiding myself under a hole, but let's hope it gets better from here.
What was so difficult about the vote last week? What did you actually struggle with?
So our team actually built a very good rapport, and we just built like a relationship in such a small space of time. And I think that for me was the hardest because we got so close so quickly.
Okay, it's amazing what you can achieve in just 5 minutes. Anyway, Christelle.
Hi, Simon.
Christelle, I was thinking about those, when you see those serial killer films, they're like photographs, of the victims on the wall with bits of sort of red string being dragged between them.
Yeah.
The contestants starting to look a little bit like that, some victims now falling by the wayside. How did you think you did last week?
Definitely could have done better, but onwards and upwards.
Yeah, well, fortunately, we start from 0 each episode. There's no accumulation of points, so good luck to you. Wayne, it was a bit hit and miss last week. You made some excellent points, and then there was also some confusion.
Yeah, we just couldn't tie it together, Simon, so some mistakes were made, but looking to rectify them this week.
Did you learn something from last week?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, let's see how that goes. But good luck to you. Good luck to all of you, actually. All right, let's dive straight in. It's time for Rapid Risk. In Rapid Risk, our contestants will be asked 10 multiple choice questions. For every correct answer, they'll be awarded 6 points, which will of course move them up the leaderboard. The first person to answer correctly scores 4 additional bonus points, and the contestant with the lowest score will be eliminated. This means that 9 contestants will advance to the next challenge in today's episode. Contestants, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, we are. Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, your first question. Who does Sasria SOC Limited provide cover to? Is it A, businesses, B, government entities, C, all individuals, or D, individuals, businesses, and government entities? Get those answers in. The correct answer was D, and all of you got that correct. Well done. It was individuals, businesses, and government institutions. Fastest finger first was, of course, Masechaba. one of our veterans, one of our wild cards from last season. Well done, Masachaba.
Thank you.
I think, that was obviously something everybody knew, but getting those bonus points is absolutely critical. All right, next question. Sasria SOC Limited provides insurance for special risks such as A. Credit risk, B. War, C. Civil commotion, public disorder, strikes, riots and terrorism, or D. Liquidity risk and event risk. Only one of those options is correct, and the right answer, of course, being C. Civil commotion, public disorder, strikes, riots and terrorism. Once again, everyone got that correct, but the bonus points go to Priya. Priya, well done.
Thank you, Simon.
Are you surprised? Yeah, are you surprised at that?
Yeah, after last week's performance, definitely.
Okay, not waiting too long. And I see the competition is stiff today. Both questions so far, everybody getting the right answer. Let's see what happens next. In which year was Sasria SOC Limited formed? Was it A, 1976, B, 1979, C, 1988, or D, 1994? Get those answers in. There were only 5 correct answers that time, the answer being B, 1979. The fastest correct answer, Lerato. Oh, nobody's dominating today. Well done, Lerato.
Thanks, Simon.
How did you know that? I think a lot of people went for 76 for obvious reasons.
What I did when we saw the reading material, I went to all of the sponsors and I wrote the forming dates. Otherwise, I was going to go mad.
Okay. It's obviously not been that long since you were at university, so you've executed a good study strategy there.
Oh, yeah.
John, did you choose 1994?
Yeah, it was 74, not 94.
Oh, I was going to say, well, that was probably the first year you entered The Apprentice. Right.
Good one, Simon.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Is Sasria cover compulsory? A, yes, B, no, C, only for corporates that are high risk, D, only for companies with a turnover bigger than 10 million. 10 correct answers, the correct one, of course, being very short, no. And Lerato takes the lead again.
Okay.
Well done, Lerato.
Thanks, Simon.
You've got stiff competition here. I see everybody's getting these answers correct, so those bonus points are quite possibly going to be critical in determining who goes through. Well done.
Thanks, Simon.
Your next question. MPL is the abbreviation of A, maximum permitted level, B, monthly purchase limit, C, mobile Premier League, or D, maximum probable loss. I think anyone who doesn't get this right should be thrown out of the competition immediately. Ooh, not everybody got that right. 9 correct answers. D, maximum probable loss, was the correct answer. Those bonus points, once again, going to Lerato. Okay, getting more and more confident with each passing question. Priya, you were pretty fast in getting the incorrect answer out there.
Yeah, not the best strategy, Simon.
Fortunately, I was joking about someone being thrown out immediately for getting maximum probable loss wrong.
Thank goodness.
Is this a term that you work with normally in your role as a desktop claims assessor?
I just remember reading something regarding monthly and I thought that must be it.
Well, at least you didn't choose Premier League. All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. In first place, we've got Lerato with 42 points. In second place, on 34, is Masachaba. In third spot, in fact, joint third spot, we've got Katuchelo and Molatelo, both on 30 points. In fifth spot, we've got Priya, followed by Christelle, Neo, Wayne, Simon, and John, all on 24 points. In these rounds, we only lose one person, so whoever's left at the bottom of the table will be leaving. As it stands now, there'd be a sudden death to get that exit. All right, let's move on. Back to the questions. Which of the following is not covered under Sasria's business interruption cover? Is it A, standing charges, B, gross profit, C, prevention of access, or D, net profit? Time to lock in your answers. Only 3 correct answers that round. The correct one, of course, being C, prevention of access. Fastest response, Masichaba.
Hey.
What kind of excitement was that? Hey.
Yes. No, it's a traditional excitement.
Oh, it's traditional.
Yes.
All right, well, congratulations. Christelle,
Simon,
you may find yourself fishing sooner rather than later.
I don't want to go fishing. Thank
You don't
you.
want to go fishing. You want to win this competition.
Yes, please.
All right, it's not too late to turn it around, and there's a tie down in those bottom 3 spots, so anything could happen. Next question. What was the impact of the July 2021 unrest to Sasria SOC Limited and the insurance industry? Was it A, a massive liability risk, B, massive insurance claim payouts, C, big cyber risks looming, or D, a declining interest in insurance? Your time is up. The correct answer was B, massive insurance claim payouts. 8 correct answers that round. And the fastest response and taking those critical bonus points, Masichaba, once again. There we go. It's all happening for you, Masichaba.
Hey.
All right, Lerato, you've been doing so well, and that was one of the first questions that you've actually got wrong. The question was, what was the impact of the July 2021 unrest to Sasria and the insurance industry? You chose option D, which is interesting because that is a declining interest in insurance. In my experience, in my limited 30-year experience in insurance, I find that after a massive loss, people are quite interested in insurance. Has that not been your experience?
It has been my experience.
You just thought you'd throw that out there so it didn't look like you were too confident in winning this competition.
Yeah, giving someone else a chance.
Throw some crumbs to those that sit at the foot of your table. All right, next question. What is excluded from Sasria's special risk cover? Is it A, material damage cover, B, personal accident, C, goods in transit, or D, construction risk cover? Only one answer could be correct. 8 correct answers that round. B, personal accident, of course, being the correct option. Those bonus points going to, once again, Masichaba. Yo! It's all happening. Masichaba, you're nailing this rapid risk today.
This was my first ever employer in the insurance industry.
Oh no, there's a common thread here, guys. Unfair advantage, but well done to you for using it. All right, really struggling down at the bottom now. We've got Christelle and Priya. Priya,
Simon,
I know this is how you roll in rapid risk.
I don't want it to roll like
Leave it till the last minute, throw in a bonus point and manage to stay in the competition. That's very risky.
I don't want to do that to myself this time.
Okay, it's happening though. All right, so still in first spot, we've got Masichaba, followed by Lerato. In joint third, Katuchelo, Molatelo, and Wayne. Then we have a joint fourth spot, which is Nao, Simon, John. And then we have Priya and Christelle down at the bottom of the table. Christelle, you're on 30 points. Priya, you are just ahead of Christelle on 34 points. Anything could happen in this last couple of rounds. Your next question. Which statement is incorrect? Sasria does not cover personal injuries or loss of life. B, Sasria provides car hire should your vehicle be damaged due to a protest or riot. C, Sasria does not cover natural disasters, or D, Sasria does not cover loss or damage due to burglaries or theft. And the correct option was B, Sasria provides car hire should your vehicle be damaged due to protest or riot. Only 4 of you got that correct. And once again, Masechaba. You're just adding insult to injury here, Masechaba. But I see you're enjoying it. Is there a sadist in there somewhere?
A little bit.
just a little bit. All right, well done. Neo. That was one of the fastest responses we've actually seen in this competition. But you didn't get the bonus points because?
It was wrong.
Yes. One needs to achieve both of those things simultaneously to get the bonus points.
I know. Okay.
Your final question of this round of Rapid Risk. Who submits premiums directly to Sasria SOC Limited? Is it A, brokers, B, insurance companies, C, underwriting managers, or D, state-owned companies? 9 correct answers. Stiff competition. The correct answer being B, insurance companies. Masechaba taking those bonus points right at the end. You could have left that to someone for survival. You do realize the person that goes home right now is probably going home because you hogged all of the bonus points. How do you feel about that?
You know, I can't control what my fingers do.
I don't care. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. In first place, no surprise to anyone, I'm sure, Masechaba, followed by Molatelo and Wayne on equal points of 54, followed by Lerato and Katuchelo, both on 48. Down at the bottom of the table and facing possible elimination, we've got Neo, Simon, John, Christelle, and Priya, all within a point or 2 of each other. John.
Yes, Simon.
You are not going home today.
Thank you.
Christelle.
Yes.
I'm afraid you're stuck with me for another week.
Oh, thank you. Sure.
And the person leaving us today is Priya. Priya, ironically, in this episode sponsored by Sasria, we've seen your campaign on The Apprentice go up in smoke, like the epicenter of civil commotion. You are not covered, have no reinstatement, and have no option but to shut down your operation. Goodbye. All right, contestants, congratulations on making it this far. I cannot tell you, there was literally 2 points difference between Priya and the rest of you that are called out at the bottom of the table. Neo, Simon, John, Christelle, it could have been any of you leaving today. 2 points, that's all that separated you from Priya. This isn't a good strategy to win the Insurance Apprentice. All right, after the break, the battle for a spot in the top 8 continues. We'll be right back.
I keep my eyes out and I'm watching the world with my feet. This is the moment, it's the cold, it's the flames, it's the fault lines.
Don't become the collateral damage of civil unrest, strikes and riots. One word can rewrite your story. Sasria. As the only company in South Africa that insures you against civil unrest, Sasria ensures that when things go bad, Sasria makes good.
And welcome back. We have our guest judge here to help us crush some more dreams. The Customer Relations Manager at Sasria, Ntwane Silela. Welcome, Ntwane.
Thank you so much.
Have you been at Sasria long?
Since 2013.
Oh, okay.
It has been a while.
Part of the furniture, but no one working in the office, as I understand. All working remotely?
At this stage, we're working remotely, just being safe.
It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Simon.
And of course, we also have our resident co-judge, Knox Dlamini.
Hi, Simon.
Knox, I was looking at some of the comments on last week's episode. And there seems to be this general kind of upswelling and uprising of people suggesting that you are, in fact, the new Judge Dredd, that I was rather tame and quite pleasant to the contestants.
That's impossible, Simon. I have a lot more hair than Judge Dredd, so that could never happen.
She had to bring out the hair thing. Speaking of hair and wardrobe, though, I also recall from last year that you were given a nickname. I have Judge Dredd, obviously, I own that. What was yours?
Apparently I wore a lot of black and white, and people started calling me Cruella de Vil, so...
I don't think it was only to do with what you were wearing.
I think so. I don't think it had anything
This is
to
like
do
a female Judge Dredd happening here. Female Dredd, Cruella de Vil. Cruella Dlamini.
Oh, wow.
Our guest judge. To our audience, it's time for premium presentation. In premium presentation, the contestants are divided into two groups. They received info packs earlier this morning, and now, following a brief from our episode sponsor, each team will be given 5 minutes in a private breakaway room to construct a spot presentation using their collaborative insurance expertise. Each team will just have 4 minutes in which to present, which must be divided equally amongst all contestants. If the team's presentation is poor or deviates from the brief, the judges may hit the buzzer at any time. But the contestants must continue. However, if a team gets 3 buzzers, they will have to stop their presentation immediately. After each presentation, the teams will receive feedback from the judges. We will then deliberate amongst ourselves and decide on the losing team, whereafter the weakest link will be sent packing. I will now hand over to our guest judge, Ntwane, for this week's challenge.
Thank you, Simon. Contestants, Sasria is a state-owned company, and our business model relies on insurance companies and brokers to sell and distribute our product directly to clients. So this means that Sasria only covers those clients that are insured with these insurance companies. Therefore, SMMEs and the lower segment of our population are left uninsured because these insurance companies do not have direct access to these customers or uninsured markets. Therefore, your task is to develop an alternative distribution channel, which will be a solution to Sasria accessing this uninsured market. So your solution should be sustainable, it should be efficient, it should be effective, and it should also allow Sasria to access and close the gap in the market that currently exists. And it should also allow government to be relieved from having 100%, from being the 100% last insurer of resort for this uninsured market. Your solution as well should also take into account risks, legal and financial implication that will be on Sasria's operations. Also, please come up with a tech name or a motto that will differentiate you as now the advisor for exclusive Sasria special risk peril. Having said that, I wish them luck.
Thank you so much, Ntwane. I think this is an absolutely critical task. We all know the destruction and disaster that followed last year's looting and riots. We need to come up with a solution for the majority of our population. So now that you've heard the brief, you'll be split into 2 teams as follows. Team A, we have Katuchelo, Molatelo, Neo, and Christelle. And then in Team B, we'll have Wayne, Simon, John, Lerato, and Masichaba. Your preparation time starts now. Swane, do you think this is something that they would have applied their minds to before today?
I'd be disappointed if they didn't. I think if you are in the insurance industry, the first thing that you should think about is the way insurers in general, especially Sasria, how we go to market must change.
Okay, so let's get the stuff that we need to get out the way. The motto, anyone? Any ideas?
The slogan.
The slogan is the last part of the task that we should do. So it should be on the 3rd slide.
Yes.
I'm saying, can we not do a reverse and start with it?
No.
I hope that Sasria gets something out of this. Some
we do.
Implementable ideas.
I hope we do, because this task in particular is actually taken out from one of the directors from the shareholder that is asking us to do things differently as a business.
Intro.
Who is starting?
It's me and Christelle.
So do you have enough content to speak to for a minute on distributions?
I think we can.
So we're going to have 5 points. What are the points? Introduction, the channels, the risks.
So 2 people per channel risks.
Yeah, the risks, and then the motto.
We can do this afterwards, guys.
Yeah, actually.
Let's finish, and then we can
So
the first
let's
slide
go back
we need
to
to go
our
back.
papers. Bear in mind we have a minute each.
Last week, Sasria was mentioned very frequently in the auto and general task. So this is it's topical. Everyone's aware of it. Yes. And Sasria was actually used as one of those models for how things could be done in dealing with things like pandemics and other big accumulation events.
When uncertainty knocks at your front door, we will be there to answer.
Yeah, so maybe you can rest easy or something like that. So a little play on unrest.
It's nice and simple.
Yeah.
You can rest easy during unrest.
Because we're creating a new distribution channel.
Yeah.
So we know Sasria has your back when you come to up in arms, but we need to make sure that it mentions everyone.
I think as Sasria, we're always saying we want to be relevant to the market, we want to be relevant to clients, our brokers and insurers as well. It's always interesting for us to hear what they are thinking.
Our group was told there was no creative bone. No, not even a little bit of creativity.
I'm scared for that.
So I think one does to the low-income individuals, and then the other one touches on the solution for the SMEs. I can do either
Are you
one.
with the go-go's or are you with the SMEs?
I love the go-go's though.
I think actually those small brokerages may surprise us, because you find that these are the guys that are finding creative ways of reaching their customers. So they may have ideas that we haven't thought of as the bigger corporates, so to speak.
Sure.
So I don't think we should, write them off just yet.
We need to speak to the spot, I think.
I think what I'll maybe do is I'll just maybe take the 2 solutions that you guys have proposed and maybe just take the 2 solutions through this, saying that both of them are specific in regards to being measurable. We'll be able to measure specific products that is bought from these models.
Risk implications. There's a risk. No. There's a financial.
Okay.
Risk, financial, and legal implications.
Let's not complicate it, guys.
No. You're complicating this.
Yeah.
You are.
Just lift up. Can I quickly take control? Is that fine?
So, like they say, in chaos or in catastrophe, we shouldn't lose sight of the opportunities that are presented there. And as Sasria, we can only say thank goodness that we are seen as relevant. Our position in the market is elevated.
Oh, guys.
So
we'll be fine. You're fine now. Don't stress.
Hopefully this will be the winning presentation.
Hope so.
I know so.
All right, welcome back. Your time is up. Team A, you are up first, and your time starts now.
So SMEs make up a large part of the South African economy, but they are also at the most risk. With the South African political and economical climate, special risk cover is very important, not only for SMEs, but also for the lower LSM because of the exposure that we all have to special risk. And we thought of kiosks in malls and shopping centers because of accessibilities, also in banks that offer Sasria cover.
We also thought of an online platform that would make it readily available for people that does not have access to a kiosk in the mall space. In today's era, where people are also expecting an answer immediately, that would speak to that need as well. It's also important for SMEs to have access to this, and also for the broader population to have access to an online platform where they can have a Sasria cover immediately available to them. I'll hand over to Nayo.
So the risk, financial and legal implications that we face with this going digital and online is cybercrime. Cybercrime is rather risky, but most businesses are going the technological savvy way, and they're going digital and the internet way. So the protection of the data is vital in SMEs in the new digital way of life.
With the financial implications, one of the things that we looked at was the infrastructure to set up the kiosk. The platform, the online platform, also is going to cost a lot of money for Sasria for them to implement and get it right and make sure that it's 100% protected. And with regards to the legal implications, when we have so many kiosks, it needs to be manned by qualified advisors, and we also risk the non-compliance with the FACE Act and also the POPIA Act in doing so. Thank you.
And our tagline for that was, "We have everyone's back when the country is up in arms."
Ah. Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, they've got time.
Yeah, we're so nervous about time.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because you've got a smaller group, which really technically means you'd have a bit more time, each person. And Twane, anything? It feels like a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing.
It does.
It's like,
It does.
okay, let's put this together for you.
It does. Look, they spoke of kiosk and online platforms. I didn't get where, when, where, how.
So with the kiosks, we thought in shopping centers, as mentioned, and banks, because our thing was accessibility, the kind of people that we are trying to target. I mean, shopping centers are accessible for everyone. We're thinking SMEs who are, we don't have money. The biggest struggle that SMEs face is funding.
Also, the online option would complement to that, because in the space or period of time that shopping malls are closed, you have access to an online platform, whether it be a website or an app, where you can purchase Sasria cover.
Like Mlatelo and Crystal was saying, we were trying to look at the angle of it being available with different time frames, maybe 3 months, 6 months, and that is something you can buy to be covered for that specific of time. Whereas with vehicles, you pay one premium either for the month or yearly. So with this type of cover, we cover your SME for 3 months. Should you want it only for 3, 6, 9, or we'll obviously give them time frames.
So this,
and to come in there with regards to timeframes of developing this infrastructure, obviously it will be dependent on the construction of this kiosk, which wouldn't take a lot of time. It will be a simple structure where you're going to have a desk and a chair and an advisor manning that kiosk.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're sort of getting any closer to what you're talking about here. I mean, are you talking about the same product that Sasria currently offers, just being offered directly to SMEs? No changes to it?
No changes.
on the other hand, I also feel like sometimes the issue with the SMEs is not necessarily the understanding. I think more often than not, the issue is funding and the money. So sometimes it's affordability. Like so many SMEs know about insurance, but they can't afford to get insurance because they almost living, it's money in, money out.
Hold on for me. Sonic, just correct me if I'm wrong, but before the increases, what were the Sasria rates for commercial vehicles?
It was R4.50.
So R4.50 is a financial hurdle for an SME. Got it. Thanks.
Have you taken into account the lower segment of our population? Because that's part of the uninsured market. I assume that's a no?
So we have to create, our idea is to create an app or a platform where you can take out only Sasria cover. And obviously on there, information of clients will be stored.
Yeah, but that's what, you're not answering my question. Who needs to take out cyber insurance? Who needs to worry about the cyber risk? Who's that party?
Sasria.
Okay, so this is more to do with Sasria's own risk management. Doesn't really have anything to do with the product that we're talking about distributing here.
Yes.
So why did you throw that in there?
Yeah, I might have missed the mark there.
All right, thanks for your presentation. Team B, you're up next, and your time starts now.
Good day, judges. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to present our distribution solutions to you. We believe that we have come across solutions that are already in place, and we would like to utilize existing infrastructure that would make it cost effective for us to reach the markets that Sasria is interested in reaching, such as the emerging market as well as the SMME market. We also believe that through this, we will relieve the pressure of government as the insurer of the last resort. I will now pass on to Larato to furnish you with further information.
Thank you, Wayne. In our distribution channels, we have segmented it into two sectors. The market that will look after, or the distribution channels that will look after the SME, and the distribution channel that would look after the lower income individuals. And we're looking at having the SME come in and register their business and having these products, or rather the channel of distribution, introduced to them through their banker, through their post office attendant. I'll hand over to Maschaba to elaborate on the retail section.
The small income households, it has already been proven that these households are not tech savvy, and they also don't have easy access to banking. And in recent years, we have seen them popping up into your local ShopRite, Pep Store, or Ackermans in order to get their banking transactions done. These retail outlets have gone as far as to offer some life insurance options. And why not add our short-term insurance solution to an already existing infrastructure and to the places that they frequent the most? And although we have considered some online platforms, these have shown to not be effective.
So our solutions, we believe, to be specific and measurable, as we're able to measure how many of the vouchers have been sold or supplied to clients. We believe that this is achievable as well, as this has been done by previous providers, having used it to sell funeral cover, as well as the use of passport. We do believe that this is something relevant as well, and something that is timely, that can be achieved in a very relevant short time as well. Thank you.
Good day, judges. I will be discussing identifying the risk and the financial and legal implication. Need adequate advice regarding the FIRES legislation and compliance. Under insurance, education and training of the people selling it, limited cover and the first loss. What would that mean is somebody purchasing the coupon or the policy that must be limited and in accordance with the first laws basis. Implementation and launching, we will do it direct and road clients and more analysis. With that, I mean, if a client purchases a house and the second day after the policy is activated, that the client doesn't burn down his house.
In summation, we'd like to present our motto.
Rest easy during the unrest.
All right, thank you very much for that presentation. I think I'm going to hand over to Ntwane for her comments.
I particularly like the fact that there was a focus as well on the lower segment of the population, which is important for Sasria, and the fact that we're using infrastructures that already exist for both SMMEs and these lower LSMs. I particularly like that. I just did not get the if I may jump to the bottom of it, I'll come back later, but I just did not get the risks that you considered in terms of what risks do you foresee in all this solution to Sasria's operations. I didn't get that.
Okay, I think one of the biggest risks there is the financial impact, because if a person is purchasing this coupon or policy at a big rate and they can become a syndicate, like the second day they burn down a house, and the other part again they can start burning down the house. I think that is the main financial impact, and the legislation impact is that the advisors or the robo-advisors selling this product, that they can give the adequate advice.
How are we partnering with Post Office?
So our belief or our system, and that's why we added the education and training, was that someone walks in and they're used to just coming into the post office for just a banking or renewing their license disc. But maybe if someone is sitting there and having someone be able to talk to them and advise them on even just the most limited amount of cover, you'd be able to at least be introduced to the product first of all, educated about how you can mitigate your losses, and depending on our premium setup, we'd be able to also demonstrate to them that the premium saving would be better than them having to rely on someone else to come and fund it.
And retailers?
Can I take the question, or Maschaba, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I'd love to jump in here with the retailers. Okay. So with the retailers, I think our biggest problem is going to be space. These shops have limited space and you have an X amount of employees, and it's already set up in such a way that this, the facility is set up like that. So in terms of advertising, I feel that is easy. We already have our money market at ShopRite. We can go into educating the people who are running the money market, who are working at the money market. And then we can also have a facility, a more technical facility, where a person can come in with their documents, they're scanned on the system, and the system then reads these documents in order to give us an adequate amount sum insured, thereby taking away the need for a broker. Because if we get then a more senior or seasoned advisor, then it kind of has a ripple effect on the financial side of things and becomes more costly.
Guys, part of distribution, right, is getting the product to the market. But other aspects of it are premium collection and claim settlement. How premiums be collected and how claims be settled.
Can I come in?
Oh, so sorry.
Sure, thank you. With regards to the banking solution, there's already a bank account in place. We modeled it after the ingenuity of Capitec back in the day, when they opened up accounts for everyone, but they didn't charge them any money to open up the account. So a lot of South Africans opened up the accounts, and that increased their stock price. Not their stock prices, their share prices. So we believe that every SMME needs a bank account, and that bank account agent can also double up as our agent, and that can be used for premium collection as well as premium payment on the bank side.
Is there a way that the broking fraternity can assist here? And is there a role that Sasria can play in supporting this role?
The aim of this distribution channels that we discuss here is really to involve those that are not involved currently in the distribution channel. So ideally, we would exclude brokers as they already have their avenues of income, and we would really want to open this up to the uninsured, in therefore creating job opportunities for the uninsured.
We're going to have to draw a line under it there. We're out of time. We'll deliberate and get back to you. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
So how we start this process, Ntwane, is to really talk about who we think did well, or alternatively, who we think really missed the mark today. So out of these two groups, which one do you think?
I feel like this team missed the mark. That team, at least they followed the SMART principles.
Yeah, I thought that in that team, this one in particular, I thought that she summed up a couple of key points for me, which actually highlighted how bad the other group was.
What I was particularly interested in was a distribution channel more than the product itself.
All right, so we're in agreement that this team is...
We are in agreement that this team is the one that lost the mark completely. That team at least tried to bring something to it, although both of them did not bring anything fresh and wow for me.
Who in this team do you think performed particularly well?
That's a difficult question, Simon.
None of them.
I don't have any.
They were all bad.
None of them.
Yeah, the energy was low. There was no real understanding. They didn't give us meat when we asked, them to fill out their ideas. It was like pulling teeth.
Well, in the Q&A section, did anyone impress?
Did anyone impress you?
This one here tried to save the team as much as she could.
I'm really struggling to identify a person. I still feel that we're getting more substance, albeit not always right, from these two.
I feel there is some sort of effort that comes through with, the other bottom two candidates.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah. Okay. I'm happy to put my vote here.
I'm with you.
100%.
Okay. All right, so it's decided then. All right, welcome back, teams. I'd like to thank you for your presentations. A slight improvement on last week, very slight. Before we announce the winning team, I'm going to hand over to Ntwane just to give you her thoughts on this task.
Okay, thank you, Simon. So what I liked about the one team that mentioned the kiosk and the online platform, we know that in this day and age, a lot of people are very technologically savvy, including businesses as well as SMEs. So that part I did like. Then as the group went along, they lost that SMART principle we're looking for, and that's supposed to be the guide on how you approach this. If you had followed that to the T, it would have helped that group. Now the other team also mentioned the existing retailers, banks, post office, and retailers, of course, where there's a lot of footprint, especially for this particular segment that we're looking at, which is actually quite good. It followed the SMART principle, which actually helped in their pitch. So the presentation was quite clear, direct, to the point, so that I could follow. What I missed from it, they only just said, it's a quick solution, it can be applied timely, but it would be nice to hear of the time framework. Is it in the immediate term, short term, or long term that you're looking at? So timely can be relative. So I think, Simon, that's if I were to sum up the two teams.
Thanks, Ntwane. Knox?
Y'all, I feel just a bit let down. You know, there were low-hanging fruit that you guys could have grasped onto and you just missed them. I think a question I was posed to one of the groups was to ask about the broking fraternity and any roles they could play. That was such a perfect segue into talking about how Sasria could sponsor training programs for foot soldiers, right? That way you're tackling both the unemployment problem by taking youths or unemployed people, training them in the product and having them distribute. They live in those areas, they have access to these customers, they speak the language, you know, and they could distribute this in a customer-centric way because they understand. And I think, Simon, we can move on.
Thanks, Knox. I thought Team B, I really enjoyed the way your presentation flowed. I thought that it was easy to follow. We felt, as you've already heard, there were some ideas that were missing, where you could have expounded on some of the thoughts that you had. Team A, I mean, picking a losing team was actually very easy for us today because we felt that your presentation was completely disjointed. It felt like there were 4 individuals that were presenting. We, however, when we were deciding who it is in this team that should be leaving today, it was fairly unanimous. And this decision really comes out of, you know, looking at this individual and going, well, what did they actually tell us today? Right or wrong? What was the lasting impression that we were left with? And as I said in last week's episode, you know, if you think you can sort of hang in the back and survive just by not putting yourself out there, not making a mistake, that is a terrible strategy. And that is why today, the person that is leaving us is Katuchelo. I'm sure you wish you were things that you could have done to prevent this. Kind of like a business owner who contemplates putting in a sprinkler system while sifting through the smoldering remnants of his factory. But alas, it's too late. Your time with us ends here. Goodbye. All right, well done to our top 8. You've survived yet another round. Those of you that are in Team A, you can't be feeling very good about your performance today. Christelle?
No, it was a dismal performance, to say the least.
Molatelo?
Yeah, it's been quite tough because I'm yet to win a presentation challenge, yet to be in the winning team. So character building episodes I've had. Yeah, I'm going to try and do better.
All right, to the winning team, again, good presentation. You did manage to put together a decent presentation with fairly limited resources, and there are more of you as well, which one could argue is more difficult. So I just want to congratulate you. It was a good performance. Masachaba, I thought you had a pretty good day today as well. So well done to you for that. Right, so your journey to becoming the Insurance Apprentice not only continues, but will prove to be a lot more challenging as the episodes unfold. I want to thank Ntwane for joining us today. It was really great having you on the panel. Some good insights.
Thank you, Simon.
And many thanks to our episode sponsor, Sasria, as well as the studio sponsor, Old Mutual Insure. And to our viewers, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week as we get closer to crowning this year's winner. Continue to watch every episode of The Insurance Apprentice to stand a chance to win your share of those cash prize giveaways. Simply like our page and share every episode on Facebook and answer the weekly question. And this week's question is, who is this week's guest judge and what is their role at Sasria? Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and stand a chance to win. From myself, Simon Coleman, and my favorite co-judge, Knox Dlamini, thank you again for your support today, also known as Cruella. From all of us in the studio, see you next week, same time, same place. Goodbye.